it up by your mouth.
It's she is in room 216, which was Brooke and Mary's previous place. 216 is right? Okay, I'm doing good so far. Okay, she was born in the Midwest, third of four children, and she was educated in Chicago and Boston. She became a registered nurse in 1972, and she moved to Seattle in 1986 from Milwaukee to take a job at UW, right?
Well, or a roundabout.
Okay, close enough. Okay. She retired from nursing in 2011, and interestingly enough, has been the owner of a small business called Pet Care for you pet owners. And yeah, and she worked in this area from 2011 until she started to retire last month, but then is not completely retired yet. So I think that I'm going to turn the name of her pet care is Fetching Holidays. And so she takes care of all kind of pets. And I'm going to let her just say a word because this is the first time I've been an ambassador, so I'm new at this, so it's all going to be up to her.
Yay, you did good.
Okay. Nancy Falconer, I can tell that you're very shy.
I'm very shy.
Welcome.
So shy.
Tell us something.
Well,
You can take the mask off if you don't mind.
Okay, there's the mask off. When I introduce myself to people and I say my name, Nancy, they say, "Oh, another Nancy." It takes me back to when I was in nursing school. We were a small class of about 30, and there was 25% of us that were named Patricia. So we got into the habit of calling people by their last names rather than their first name. So yes, there are 4 Nancys already in this building, but there are also several Jones and several Barbaras. So it's not so unusual to see duplicate names. So if it helps you, just call me Faulkner, which is perfectly fine with me. And yes, people have asked, "Oh, you're finally here?" I've been paying rent since September in the hopes of finally getting my house on the market. And my house will go to market on the 2nd of February. So I've dragged my leg in knowing what the real estate market will do in terms of selling a house. So keep your fingers crossed, and it is the year of the rabbit. So hopefully we will all move on with that part of my story. So thank you to everyone.
Nancy.
Yeah. Thank you, and again, welcome to University House.
I think there is another newbie here. Linda, are you here? Linda Youngs? But your ambassador is not here. Would you like to say something or would you like to wait?
Let's hear from you.
Say a few about yourself.
My name is Linda Youngs.
Use the mic.
Yeah, my name is Linda Youngs. Can you hear me? I have lived in Seattle for about, about 40 years. I am an attorney. I practice law in Bellevue and mainly in Bellevue. For a while, I was the city attorney of Bellevue, and then I went into private practice. And I have been living in West Seattle for about 20 years. And the challenge for me was that to go from the street level to my house was down 38 steps and up 38 steps and down 38 steps and up 38 steps. And eventually it just seemed like it was a little more complicated than I needed. So I'm here and hoping that it will all work out for the best.
Thank you and welcome.
I want to say that Linda is a terrific swimmer. She is just fantastic in the water.
Fantastic swimmer. Yes. The only other thing I wanted to mention was about the buddy list. A new version went out this past week, and I want to thank everybody who signed on. We have a huge list now. And although the buddy system does not come into play very often, only when there's something rather dramatic with one of our residents, but by having a buddy system, we have someone to contact when we're concerned about a resident. And remember that the staff cannot tell us anything about the medical condition of residents because of HIPAA and whatever. So thank you for participating. And hopefully we don't have to use it. That's all, Roger.
Okay, thank you, Susan. Doug Johnson for maintenance.
Can I go forward?
Go ahead.
Can I go, Susan? Thank you. Okay, folks, I've got the same report as usual. We're still trying to hire 2 housekeepers. We're still trying to hire 2 maintenance techs. But I do have a word of caution. We've got a problem with the Allen Street door. It's not locking. So please use the automatic buttons to open the door and close the door. That works fine, but if you use the crash bar, it doesn't lock.
It doesn't lock if you say what you say. I tried it several times. It doesn't lock if you just use the right thing. It doesn't always.
Can't hear you. Do we need a mic?
It doesn't lock when you say it should. When you use the automatic doors, it doesn't lock. Sometimes it does.
Okay, that's not my experience, but I'll check it out.
How long have you stood there and tried? Because I've tried over and over again, and it'll finally do it. Maybe, I hear.
I'm 10 for 10.
I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused. I use that exit very frequently. And I always come in and I use my key to come in.
Okay, good.
And then I
That's the best
stand there until I hear the door close. Now, are you trying to say that the door doesn't really close?
That's what you're doing is just right.
Okay,
That's what's supposed to happen.
okay.
It's when you push on the
When you try to use the manual opening, it does, the door is somehow a little bit out of line,
To go out.
Yeah.
Okay,
but use your key on the automatic opening side to come in, not the key in the lock.
how about going out? How do we go out if we're going out that direction?
There's a little button on the to go out. Okay, we got another got a persistent resident.
What do we do if it won't close? Who do we just notify the front desk?
That would be good. I found that you can manually pull it closed, and it shall lock when you hear it click. It's locked. We've given up trying to find a mat for the water out there.
Wear waterproof shoes.
Yeah, just enjoy your wet socks.
Thank you, Doug. Next is wellness, Joe Cunningham.
Hal Piper, in handing over the wellness job, graciously took me to Betsy and also to Tabby, and we had good conversations, and I'll report on those at the next meeting.
Okay, and next comes Hal with food service. I don't know if you have a report or.
Yeah, partial report anyway. My predecessor was Mary Williams, who's down there, is now as the treasurer. She only had this brief for about 4 months or something like that, and she did 3 brilliant things. She got pepper grinders on the table. she reorganized. She reorganized the birthday protocol, and she made it possible. She cut the red tape and made it possible for couples to have just 50 dinners a month instead of. I just remember several times toward the end of the month, I had 27, Betsy had 23. No, we couldn't put these two in. Mary cut the red tape. I hope to be a worthy follower in Mary's footsteps. I depend on you. I understand that the person who's got food service gets plenty of complaints. All right, I'm ready.
Thanks, Hal.
Thank you, Hal. That's our new board. One thing that we need to do that's probably the most important part of our evening, we need to kind of on a legal basis, we need to switch over our bank accounts at Verity Credit Union. So I need to have somebody offer a motion to take Pat Walker and John Nikon off of the bank accounts and then add Kay Ratcliffe and Mary Williams. You have a second? Done. I'm gonna get. I'll get this. I promise. Okay, so all in favor? All opposed? Okay. One abstention. Okay. The other thing I have on my list, Kathy Woods asked me to have a few minutes to talk about the play reading group.
Thank you. If nothing else, last night's Countess Japanese play demonstrated how the show must go on. Anyone that wasn't here doesn't know what that means, but congratulations to producer Dorothy Riley and her cast for performing splendidly despite the audio dragon in the room. Okay. I'm Kathy Woods, and I'm here to promote participation in the University House Play Readers. The U-House Play Readers have been stalwartly led by dedicated residents for 15 years. In its heyday, pre-COVID, the group staged a new play every month, and there are over 100 plays in the archive upstairs to prove it. What's needed now are new participants to select plays, new readers to play the parts. This talent is sitting right here in the auditorium, and its name is you. Contact me this week if you're interested in joining in the fun. Find my contact info on K4 or stop me in the hall. And the next U-House reading play is scheduled for Monday, April 24th, right here at 7 p.m. Will your name be on the playbill? That's up to you. Let me know. And just remember, there's no business like show business.
Okay, before we go to open discussion, I want to just mention one thing. Like I said in the very beginning, it's extremely important that you get your thoughts and concerns to the different members of the board. The only thing that that I would have to say about that is that things that are a concern for everybody in this room universally are the kinds of things that we should talk about in this meeting. There's also things that are questions and concerns that you have just as an individual. And that's not really appropriate to be talked about here, but it's just as important. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to, with your individual questions and concerns, if you can identify a board member that probably, that it's, their responsibility is close to what you're wondering about, then you can email them, or, just even if you see them, in the building, talk to them. One other thing I just want to mention, if any of you are interested, every Friday I come down to the gallery and I read my book for about 3 hours while our apartment is being cleaned. That's between 11 and 2. If you would like to talk to me about anything, it's a perfect time to do it. So that's my message, and it's now 7:27. So what I'm wondering is, anything on your mind that you'd like to talk about? I guess so.
I know that the appeal has been out to do something about the QFC carts that are about the building. They shouldn't be there. That's theft. And as nice, the QFC has done so many nice things for this community. I just don't think it's right. And I wonder, what's behind the problem here? Why would anybody bring the cart down here and then just abandon it for poor Barbara Schneider to take it back? But it's, what can we do? And there must be a problem that the people who are just taking what's essentially a stolen item and just leave it here, that maybe they need help. I just think it's something that needs to be dealt with, and I think it's shameful that we have these QFC carts about here.
Does anybody want to comment on that? I think my own feeling is that that's a no-brainer, that we need to not do that. As simple as that. Do the right thing.
Does that apply to the QFC carts that are in P1? There's 3 of them down there.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my question.
There shouldn't be a QFC cart in this whole building.
There are 3 black carts outside of the maintenance shop against the wall. They've been there ever since we moved in. They used to be used for distribution of groceries. I just wondered, are they being stolen?
I've been here for 11 years and I've always been here, so I assume they're ours.
No, they have not been here all the time. They have been here only since people were ordering things from QFC, and then they were being delivered to the apartments. So it's probably should be taken back to the store. I don't know if Barbara Schneider has is taking care of that, or if someone else. Pardon?
She's tired of it. She shouldn't have to do it. It's not her job.
Yeah.
That's right. She shouldn't have to do it. Someone, maintenance?
I move that the board take immediate responsibility for returning the QFC carts.
I'll be glad to walk. I don't know if I can get 3 of them up there at the same time, but I'll be glad to walk up with them on the street.
Thank you. I really look forward to an activist board for the forthcoming year. Thank you very much. I would like to propose that the board reestablish the give and take room on the 5th floor. This on the first floor. I don't want it on the 5th. On the 1st floor. This was something that was really convenient for all of the residents to have. It was poorly managed and poorly had oversight. And I would like to suggest that it be reestablished and the board have some sort of oversight over that. Thank you.
I make the motion that the board accept responsibility. I make the motion that the board accept the responsibility to start a give and take room, and that you find a way to assign either one person or different persons to check on it every day or once a week to make sure it doesn't get messy and sloppy.
Are you volunteering?
No, I'm not on the board.
He doesn't have to be on the board to be in charge of it.
The motion was that the board would assume the responsibility to reestablish the give and take room. Because when we first moved here, it was so much fun to have that room. And I was able to collect a lot of very interesting things, even food. And I would love to see that established again.
I think there's.
As a new person, what is the give and take room? I was not familiar with it.
Okay, do you want me to tell you? All right. Anybody here who wanted to give away something that was usable, wearable, or nice enough to put up on the wall, just brought it down there, and every day one of us would check, many of us would check it to see if there was anything that was interesting. I still have a box of tea bags that I got 3 years ago from somebody who left them, and they're wonderful.
I'd like to just comment on this. One thing that
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
yeah, I promise we will move second this and we'll vote on it. But I just want to say a few things. My understanding was that was discontinued because of COVID. I'm not sure we're out of the woods, and so maybe we are. But if we're out of the woods, so what you're suggesting is that the board take this on.
Yes, I am. Because it was only really one person who complained that the room was not being kept orderly there. And she went to our director and suggested strongly that the room be disassembled, and it was. There wasn't a vote on it, nobody was questioned about it, and we found it very enjoyable. And it was something that we missed, so we'd like to try to have it again.
If nothing else, we're going to be having a meeting with the executive director within the next few weeks, and I'm sure this will be something that we could very easily talk about. The motion's been made. I'm kind of confused on how the board is supposed to do this.
We can table it.
Just continuing the discussion of the motion that's on the floor, it seems like the board could easily take the responsibility of getting it going, talking to the executive director, seeing if it's okay, getting it going. But we're not going to individually do that kind of work. It's a small kind of thing. And so we would need some volunteers if it's really going to happen. Okay.
As long as the board has oversight.
Yes, oversight, yes.
Okay, I think the way to do this would be, I think the way to do this would be to, we've had a motion to start this process. We will talk to the executive director if with the regulations of the building, if this is a easily done thing, that we call for volunteers, have a committee, and we'll do it. So that's the motion. Do we have a?
No, it isn't.
No, it's not.
It has to end. a motion on the floor or amended. Call for the
So what's
The motion is that the board should take the responsibility for reinstating the give and take room. That is the motion.
okay?
And the second.
Okay.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Ayes have it.
Ayes have it.
I did not understand that to be anything for all of you having to do it. It's just contacting error.
Can't hear you.
No, I promise that we will make every effort to, if this was, it's something that can be done within the regulations of the building, that we will follow through. We'll have much more information about this at the next meeting.
I would be very interested in what the assembled here tonight think of an idea as follows, that for potential new residents that are being shown to the University House, that during their tour or after their tour has been completed, that I be able to offer them the opportunity to see any one of us that would be volunteers to talk to same potential residents about our opinions of the house, what life is like in the house. I think every one of us would be fundamentally positive about our experience, and we would assure, if we were volunteers to do this, we would assure Ike that that would be the case. However, we would also say that if we had any reservations, we would feel that it was proper that the potential residents should hear about those. I suggested this idea to Elliot many months ago, and he thought it was a very good idea, but of course nothing ever happened about it. I wonder what others tonight would think about that.
Let me comment on that. And I'm actually, Charlie, I'm glad that you brought this up, because there's something that you all need to know about me. I was in business for my whole life. This is a private corporation. We are their customers. It's up to them on how they represent and market their, the apartments in this building. My guess, they're to make it kind of a mandatory thing that somebody will comment either negatively or positively on to somebody that's thinking about moving in here. I find it very difficult to believe that a private corporation would want to do that. So we have some more comments on
I
this.
have something to say, because I work with Ike on, introducing new families and, couples and people to the University House, and set them up with an ambassador and all that. And Ike and I have talked about this. He does do this sometimes. Lowell and I have been set up with new residents several times. I think he tries to sometimes set people up that have something in common, like we were set up with an epidemiologist from the East Coast. So he does do that, but I don't think we can mandate it. I mean, I don't think we have any power to mandate it. Right, Roger?
I'm quite sure of that.
Yeah. I think if you're interested in talking to newcomers, maybe you should tell Ike that you'd like to, but
You know, they have testimonials on the website, and in fact, Carol and I, in the middle of COVID, we did a video for Ike and Elliot, where they asked us questions on how we felt about and why we would move into a building like this in the middle of a pandemic. But the key there is that they could either use that video or they could edit it. Like I said, this is a private corporation, and we are the customers. We are not the directors.
Roger? One of the things that we have obviously forgotten is that there was a survey. It was put out, and we all answered. If the people are interested in finding out what the opinion is, they can always ask for a survey, an up-to-date survey. And we were told many moons ago that we were getting another survey, and it never came to fruition. It's about time that we have one.
I agree.
That's one way to take care of what Charlie's talking about, and people can give their opinions on paper, and whoever wants it when they come in, they can ask for it.
About a year ago, there was a Black woman who came and was looking at us. And I went up to her and I said, "Are you looking for, staying here?" I said, "Please, we need you. Come." So that may have not been the thing to do, but I want to see much more diversity here. And that's the one race that we don't have.
We've talked a bit about people bringing carts back from QFC, also, I might say from Walgreens sometimes, and leaving them around. But we didn't say what we can do. We shouldn't do that, but what can we do about it? There should be some way of penalizing if someone gets caught doing that. And I would ask for people some suggestions. The board, we don't have the power to fine anybody, or you don't want to call the cops, say they stole the cart. Maybe we could make a picture, put a picture with thief written across it up in the.
Or Henry,
but maybe somebody has a better idea.
Yeah, Henry, are you suggesting like a public shaming?
We are customers, and as customers, I think we have the right to express our opinions whenever possible. We may not control this place as Era Living does as a private corporation, but we pay a chunk of money every month to this place, and we need to raise our expectations and let them be known. I'm concerned about the increase coming in August. A lot of people, I think, might be. It's a chunk of money. My concern is not whether they have the right to do it or not. We're not in a position to negotiate our rents. I wish we were. But at this point, I was concerned mostly because of the information provided in the letter that was based on, I think, old information. It mentioned an 8.5% inflation rate, which was the case at a high point in 2022. The inflation rate, according to many sources, Bureau of, I can't remember, I'm sorry, is 6.5 at the end of December and is projected to go down considerably in 2013. I think we should watch this, and I am concerned because if we're
paying at a rate that no longer exists, I don't think it's right. And at the same time, while costs have gone up, it's more expensive in many ways. We've also been able to do without staff and save money on staff for some time. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I would like, unfortunately, we can't get that information, but I am concerned about the accuracy of the statement and the figures provided.
I'd like to comment on that on two parts. The first is that this inflation started about the same time as the war in Ukraine. And so it's almost a year. I'm speaking now from, again, my experience in business. Era Living has been absorbing roughly 8% inflation for a year with no increase in revenue. You cannot sustain that as a business. The second thing is that in terms of the short staffing, I dealt with this continually. And what happens when you have a short staff, the amount of things that need to be done don't change. It's just you don't have as many people as you'd like to do it. So what you do is, instead of having something done by somebody working straight time, you pay somebody time and a half. The second thing is that the easiest thing to set aside when you're short-staffed is preventive maintenance. And then what happens is that when things do break, it's a lot more expensive. Speaking for myself, when I got when I got the notice, it was almost exactly what I was expecting. And I wish I'd never got it, but I think it's not unreasonable. But that's just my opinion, and for what it's worth. Yeah.
One of our Nancy's.
Oh, you probably didn't get it.
I didn't get a notice. So what are you talking about?
There was a letter from Deborah where she outlined the reasons for the increase.
Oh, no, we didn't see that.
Roger, can I say something? When we first moved in, residents that had been here a while got a letter that their rent was going to be increased the next, I don't know, a couple months after we moved in. We did not get that letter because we were already paying the higher amount. So maybe you're already paying the higher amount. I don't know.
It's not until August.
Okay. Well, it seems weird that they wouldn't get it. Yeah. You might be exempt from this raise as a new resident. I'm seriously something.
And just letting you know, my sidekick Kay is putting down all of these things that we're going to talk to the director about. This will be one of them.
There's somebody in the back.
How I'd like to see warmer meals served.
Thank you for reducing.
Yeah. I think that goes. Yeah, we need to send a microphone down to Hal. So.
What's he gonna say? Okay.
So Charlie, are we talking about it at the table or when we bring up the meals from? That's Tom. I'm sorry, Tom. Yeah. Are we talking about bringing meals up that we've ordered, or sitting at the table? In the dining room, it should be hot when you. Okay. I will bring that up. Yeah. Tom, I'm sorry.
Got Jerry over here.
I know excuse me. I know Cal wanted to mention that tomorrow is the food service meeting in the dining room. San Juan room. The food services meeting. I saw it on K4. I just thought Cal wanted to mention it.
Oh, hell. Oh, okay.
Okay, have we got some more things to talk about?
You can't resign.
This is not talking about, I just have a request. I still need to see your name tags. My memory, and I'm one of the younger ones, but I need to have people wearing their name tags.
I really agree with that. Especially, we were all brand new in this building at one time. And you remember how hard it was to get to know people. And what I found was that not only did I have trouble remembering people, but I was afraid that I was going to call somebody by their wrong name. And so, yes, it's an easy thing to do. Just wear your little name tag.
The board is not a good model tonight.
I will whip them into shape. So is that it? We have a motion to adjourn? Second? All in favor? All opposed?